What is this Q4 phenomenon where people say, I'm going to wait? They're actually making decisions now, but they say they're going to wait. I'm going to wait till January 1st to move forward with a sales team or a business development initiative or a marketing initiative.
Yeah, and here's the funny part. What they're waiting for is to act on the decision that has already been made.
It's just us today, man, and I love it. So on Stack to Scale, we're going to be chatting about, go ahead, take it away, Tom, because this is like one of your favorite subjects. I know you're excited to talk about it.
I am, and the reason I'm excited is tis the season. Tis the season.
So what's the subject? Go ahead.
Well, the subject is why do people wait? It's specifically around Q4, but what we'll quickly find out is they wait for all sorts of artificial reasons. And I think this is a great time to talk about the seasonality of sales in general, especially in the B2B market.
Yep. Now, when you say why do people wait, what are you talking about? Like, give us some context, because we're hearing it all the time. Q4. Sure, I'll wait. Go ahead, give some examples.
Yeah, so we roll into October, right where we are now. We're recording October 2025. And Alex, you and I are in business together. And we're getting a lot of emails from some of our prospects that basically say, Tom, this is great. This is a wonderful proposal. But, let's review it in January.
Yep.
January 1, right? A lot of that. You can extrapolate January 1 to next year, next quarter, on Monday, when it rains, when it's sunny, right? Whenever, right? And people wait for whatever that is. And it's all artificial. It really doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, I think it hurts you when you wait, especially if the conditions are good conditions to move forward.
Yep. So what is this Q4 phenomenon where people say, I'm going to wait? They're actually making decisions now, right? But they say they're going to wait. I'm going to wait till January 1st to move forward with a sales team or a business development initiative or a marketing initiative.
Yeah, and here's the funny part. What they're waiting for is to act on the decision that has already been made. Let me repeat that. They're waiting for a decision that has already been made so they can act on it. So, for example, our customers, their competitors, our competitors, most of them are waiting. But the decision to whatever it is that they're going to do next year, they've already made that decision.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I talked to a customer today, or a prospect really. And the prospect basically says, no, Tom, this is great. This is wonderful. This is exactly what we need. And I can't wait to kick this off in 2026. So I'm going to wait till January 1st. So I said, well, what is the hesitancy? Well, there's this other stuff I have to take care of, all of this noise that is really not noise. It's all kind of artificial. And I said, well, I can tell you right now, and I'm talking to everybody on that's listening to us, your competitors, they're not waiting. They've made the decision, and they're acting on that decision right now. So they're going to have about a 3-month head start by the time January rolls around.
So what are some examples? What are you talking about? What are we actually hearing? Well, I'm going to wait for what?
Well, your guess is as good as mine as far as waiting is concerned, right?
Yeah.
What I am saying is people are pushing off in acting on the decision. Let's give you an example. You send a proposal. I don't care what the proposal is. And the customer likes it and says, or a prospect likes it and says, yeah, this is great. And because we're in October and in November and in December, the customer will say invariably January 1st. Let's start doing this thing, whatever that is.
So you're saying they made a decision now, yes, but let's wait to start it till January 1st. But then there are competitors out there that are not waiting.
That is correct.
Right?
They've made the decision and they're going with it right away. Correct.
Taking action now, right?
Action
so what
now.
that does is it puts us, if we're supporting a client, right, who says they want to wait till January 1st, it puts us 3 months behind their competitor that is already going and making the decision same day, right? 2 clients making a decision same day, right?
Exactly.
The client that makes the decision today, right, we get to go. That there's like that client out there, and there's the other client out there or company that says, yeah, I'm going to make that same decision, but I'm going to wait till January 1st, right?
Correct. Correct.
Oh, and hey, Ninestone, why don't you wait 3 months
Right.
to
We
get
have this
going?
tendency to wait. Let me give you I'm gonna give you some very real examples of businesses that have actually created this model, um, that make business on your procrastination and your waiting. The one that comes to mind all the time, right? The one that comes to mind every time is the fitness industry, specifically gyms, right? So invariably, come January 1, bunch of people are going to, they're going to make the decision, right? I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to do all this stuff, like, massive amounts of things. January 1, for whatever reason, seems to be better than, say, I don't know, October 15th. Sounds silly if we put it that way. Why can't I start eating right and exercising today as opposed to 3 months from now? I don't know,
Yeah, right.
right? But they do this. And gym owners and gym companies know this. So let me tell you how they know this, right? They know the procrastination. They know that they're coming. They know there's a bunch of people that are not only going to start then, but they're probably going to peter out. By the middle of February, everything will be back in normal. So I'm going to give you some numbers that'll probably pop your eyes out. So on average, gyms across our country, whether it be little tiny gyms or say the Platinum Fitness or Life Fitness, all these big ones, they hold about 600 people in the gym. When I'm talking about hold, I'm talking about things like, the fire code, like how many people can have in a building
Yeah, the
at any
physical
given time.
capacity, right.
Yeah, that kind of thing, right? Like how
Yeah.
many people can do this thing and bathrooms and, the codes, right? About 600 people on average. How many memberships do you think on average each gym has?
Oh, I'm gonna go triple that.
Try 3,000. The average membership of a gym is 3,000 people,
Wow.
5
5
times what it can hold.
times.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever gone to a gym and try to buy a membership and have somebody go, sorry, Alex, we're all out. We're all out of memberships. We're all sold out. How about like
No,
never?
no, never.
Right.
Yeah, and
Right.
I've done the January thing, like, now's the time. Now's the time to
Right.
start.
Now's the time to start, right? And I'm going to go and I'm going to pay my $10 or $100, whatever it is a month. I'm going to do all this. Matter of fact, tell you what, everybody can grab a browser, a Chrome browser, and type in commitment run or commitment 5K, right? What that means is that January 1, you can sign up to run a 5K sponsored by, guess who? Your local gym. And you're going to go, and this is the year, January 1, I'm commitment run. I'm going to do my 5K. And at the end of the 5K, there's a bunch of people with clipboards ready to sign you up to the gym, which, by the way, is where the finish line is. And you go, you kidding me? I'm either feeling great or I'm like, man, I could use a little more exercise. That 5K was hard. You get all fired up, right? They got you right then and there. Here, sign here. And if you do it for 2 years, I'm going to give you 20% discount. 20%. What a deal. Of course, that'll commit. I'll commit to it. So by the middle of February, all the gym levels as far as participation go back to normal. There's a little blip in January where things are a little comfortable. There's not enough parking. People have to wait for an apparatus. That's like a week. And then by
Right.
By the middle of February, you're right back to it. As a matter of fact, there's people that go to the gym for real on a semi-regular basis that take January off for that exact reason. I don't want to fight for apparatus. I don't want to fight for parking. I'm just going to let all these people get their time in. And then when they all peter out, I'll come back
Yep.
and start my working out on February.
I'm gonna
So
be
it's
that
built
guy.
in. It's built into our psyche. Okay, so the question then becomes is, okay, well then why are people then waiting? If we all know this, right? Why are we sitting around waiting? One of the big reasons why people wait is the amount of possibilities that waiting brings to us. I'm going to let that sit. If I have made a decision, or I have multiple decisions, or that one decision has many options, I wait. Why do I wait? Because I have decision fatigue, because I have way too many choices. Let me give you another study, because you know I'm going to bring stories and studies to this.
I like it. Bring it. Bring your studies.
So there's another study. There's a grocery store. The grocery store is selling jam. On the one side of the grocery store, in the far back, there's a table of 24 different jams. The same table and jams on the other side, but they only have 6 flavors. So one's got 24 flavors, one's got 6 flavors. Which table sold the most jam?
Oh, I'm going with the 6.
That's a good guess. You would think, though, the 24, I got more stuff. I got more flavors. I should be able to sell more,
More to
right?
choose from.
More to choose from, right? Decision fatigue kicks in.
So which one
And
was it? It was the 6. Was it
It
the
was a
6?
6. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You're correct.
I was going with where you're going, right? Which is like,
Right.
okay,
No,
fewer is
exactly.
better.
Okay. So now I'm going to blow your mind by how much? How much did that table of 6 sell over the table 24?
Oh, yeah. Gosh, I don't know. Double?
3 times. 3 times more
Huh.
jam was sold the table of 6 than the table of 24. Again, why would that happen? Decision fatigue. I have less options. It's easier for me to choose.
So
It's
bring me back to why people wait, though. Are you saying they have more decisions or fewer decisions? I thought you're
No, they
saying,
have more decisions. They have more decisions, right? So, for example, if I make a decision I'm going to move here, I can make another decision of moving there. I can make another decision to add something else. I can make another decision to change vendors, to add a new vendor, to change my business model. I have all of these decisions to make. And you know what the easiest one to make is to not do anything at all.
so are you saying decision fatigue? People wait in part because it is easier to not make a decision. It's easier to do nothing than it is to act on the decision you've made.
Amen. That
Or
is
even
correct.
make the decision, right? This is interesting
That's
because Tom, you one of the sayings that you and now I guess it's rubbed off on me that we like to just note to folks is that one of the easiest, you have your impact, confidence, and ease, the ICE matrix, right? Impact, confidence, and ease, and you can actually have tasks that are prioritized, and one can win that is just do nothing. The best decision out of a set of decisions could be to do nothing, right? Certainly the
that is correct.
easiest.
That's correct. I mean, the do nothing task, as we would call it, right, has a score. So in the ice world, it's 1 to 10, and we do a multiplication. So let's go through it. So the impact would be 1. There's no impact, doing nothing. My confidence of doing nothing, right, is it's pretty high. I'm really good at doing nothing,
That's a solid
right?
10.
Top 10, right? And easy? Are you kidding me? I'm awesome at doing nothing. It's super simple for me to do nothing. So you multiply 1 times 10 times 10 is 100. So it has a score. It's not 0, it's 100. And you and I, we work with customers when we do the ICE matrix, where once we prioritize it, how many times have we actually seen tasks that are actually less than 100?
Yeah, it does happen. And what
Right?
you're talking about, like, here's a good example of just, let's say we have identified a number of sales tactics and marketing tactics. Let's, a whole bunch of HubSpot tactics, let's call it.
Sure.
They will impact sales and marketing, right? A common question that we get is, okay, which of these should we do first? Which are most important? And we go, okay, we're going to go through the ICE matrix, impact, confidence, and ease for each of these tactical things, give it a score, and then, right, highest score, we do that first, right? Lowest score, we do that last. And you actually, yes, we find a number of action items that people think are really important that might actually be lower than doing nothing.
Correct. And yet, we want to spend money and time and effort, and maybe it's a pet project, right? Maybe it's something like that. But my goodness, it's when it's black and white like that, numerically speaking, right? It's easy to turn around and say, that's right. We shouldn't do it that way. But let's bring this back to
Waiting.
the do nothing and the in this Q4 phenomena. I wanted to bring yet another study and another story. One of the things that humans are in general, and certainly in the B2B is no exception, we are terrible estimators. We're terrible estimators.
Hmm.
We are terrible at recalling what happened, and we're not very good at forecasting what will happen, estimating, right? Here's a story, right? So to prove this point, there's a study on a new drink. And what they wanted, the question was, and this was one of these studies where the participants didn't really know what we were measuring. They thought we were measuring whether or not they liked the taste of this particular drink. However, what we were really measuring is how long would it take for them to be convinced whether or not they like the drink. So the question right before they took a sip was, how many sips will you need to take of this drink to be convinced whether you like it or not?
Okay.
What do you think? Let me ask you the question. You have a new drink, never had it before. Here you go, Alex. Before you take a sip or two or three or 10, how many sips do you think you need to take to kind of figure out whether you like this drink?
Yeah. Okay. Maybe 2 or 3.
So the average was 5 to 6 sips estimated.
Huh.
And the reality was 1.3 sips
So
to figure out
the
whether they
what?
like
So
the drink or not.
the perception was different than the reality, is what you're saying?
Oh, absolutely, all the time. And so how does this again have to do with what we're talking about here? Yet another way of estimating what I think will happen in January. So I have this decision I'm going to make. Maybe I already made the decision. I really like this vendor. We're going to move off of this other vendor, but we're going to not start till January because I don't know. January is magical. January is going to be great. January is so much better than now. January is 5 to 6 sips, if you will.
6 times better than
It's
now.
awesome. We're going to know better, right? And yet we know that it's better if you just start now. Well, why is it? Well, there's stuff that you figure out. Like you have a new idea and you're going to stumble and you're going to work through it and you're going to get it right and get it better. Guess what? That stumbling, that doesn't go away in January 1st, right? That stumbling, that not knowing all that, that's still waiting for you in January 1st.
Okay, so what are some other common reasons, though, that people say that they wait? Is it like, well, our budget renews in January. We're on a calendar year.
Yeah. I mean, here's my point is, are these real objections or waiting or these excuses for the wait? And what we have found, again, with studies and our experience is these objections are artificial. They're not grounded into reality of actually executing on a plan. And people come all the time, I'm going to wait for this. I don't have enough money, right? Um, I'm not suggesting that you may or may not have enough money. What I am suggesting is the particular decision or plan worthy of the money?
Mm,
Because if it is,
yeah.
that's not gonna change in January 1st. I mean,
So I
arguably, I
hear
would say people have less money in January than do in October.
I hear this not only about January, but let's say someone is building an organization like building a sales team. Okay, we have no, they may have an organization. Maybe they're $10 to $20 million organization, and they've been selling and growing, but they may not have a sales team. This happens in professional services, right? It happens in accounting, happens in insurance. And they go, yeah, I'm going to build a sales team. I'm going to hire a BDR, a business development rep, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until we have a new chief growth officer, or I'm going to wait until January, or I'm going to wait until we've got a partner in charge, or I'm going to wait till the marketing team has some time for them. How does that work out for companies?
It doesn't. It never has, and it never will, because the waiting doesn't change the circumstances. The waiting
Right.
does not add advantages or disadvantages. Like, it doesn't get worse either, but it doesn't
Yeah.
get better.
How many times have we been in situations, and this is true for me on occasions too, where someone might say to us, "Hey, I'm gonna wait for this initiative," and we go, "How important is this initiative?" "Oh, it's really important, right? We're gonna wait," and then it isn't done. So I had this happen multiple times this week, Tom. Let me give you an example, and see if I'm on the right track for what
Yeah,
you're saying.
please.
Okay,
Yeah.
a client wanted to launch a website, right? And they said, "Well, we need to evaluate a number of different options for a particular plugin for ADA compliance." Right. So something that normally would take us one day to decide on, to implement, and be done. Right. 2 weeks later, we're still waiting for everybody to have an opinion because we got to do the research. We got to wait for the research. Right. But no one's done the research because no one has time for the research, when we just gave the research up front. Hey, we'll do the research. No, Ninestone, we don't need you to do the research. We're going to do the research ourselves. Right? 2 weeks later, website's not launched because of an ADA compliance plugin that should have been a,
Slam dunk.
5-minute decision.
Yep. Correct. Well, look, let's go back to the jam discussion. What if I were to tell you, Alex, you're in front of the 24 jam table, and I said to you, you have to make a decision about jams. Eventually. What are you going to do? You're most likely going to say, all right, Tom, I will. I'm going to go think about it. I'm going to research on the jam I want. Maybe I'll wait till January 1st before I buy jam. Right? All of this. So I'm using jam kind of as the metaphorical purchase that you're trying to make a decision on. And it would happen the same. So what happens is, just because I'm using jam and the fact that it's simple, it's a commodity, and people don't need to, right? They can just walk by the table.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I can make a decision with 6 jams. I can make it now. So, a lot of what we've practiced in the past is, and it sounds counterintuitive, limit the choices. Limit the choices. Have a recommendation. Alex, you and I, we do this, right? We do our research. We've tried to figure out what's best for the customer. And then what I usually do, right, is I give them 3 choices, and then I add a recommendation. Out of these 3 choices, this is the one I would pick. And here's why. We have found that more people take us up on that than if we came back and became what I call socially desirable. Hey, we'll do anything you want, right? We'll sit around and we'll just, we'll be the 24 jams, right? Which jam do you want? Well, you want this one? You want that one? Well, we're professionals, right?
Yep.
I mean, people that are listening, you're professional at what it is that you do. You should be able to come up with a plausible 3 or less decisions or choices that your customer or prospect should make. I taught a class about a month ago to a bunch of B2B people, and it was about objection handling. Here's the funny thing. Got into class and everybody's super excited about learning how to handle objections, right? They're like, yes, this is going to be great. I have such a hard time handling objections. And I started the conversation like this, and I'll even ask you this, Alex. Do you not know the 3 to 5 objections that you will get at any given time?
Oh gosh, I think I probably know most of them.
Correct. Everybody knows them. But for whatever reason, we treat it like a UFO sighting, like we've never seen this objection in our life. Hey, you're too expensive. Oh my goodness, I got to handle this objection. I don't know. Why don't you prepare? Let's say you had 5. Take your time, figure out what you're going to say for one of those 5, because there's a 95% chance that the next objection will be one of those 5. So when I talk to sales reps that we're looking at, or customers or prospects, and I see them trying to handle objections and they have a hard time, that just tells me they're just not prepared. They're just not prepared, right? That is really the takeaway, right? I mean, come on, we all know, we all know. And it's the same thing for these decisions. We all know. We all know what to do. So what's the hang up? There's lots of different hang-ups I outline. And another one might be the fact that you're fearful of making the decision. Pointing back to my jams. I always tell the story in the beginning so I can use it again, right? Um, I have there's cherry, but there's also black cherry. Oh, I don't know. There's also wild cherry. What cherry? I do like cherry, but what cherry do I know. I'm gonna have to think about it. And I walk away
Yeah.
and I get nothing. Um,
So how often is that? So are you saying that limiting choices helps people avoid waiting?
I do.
Helps them make decisions?
Make decisions faster.
Makes decisions
Yes.
faster. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do.
And so what are some of, like, okay, so what are the, if someone says, "Hey, I need to wait." Right? So for people listening, maybe you go to your boss, right? And you say, "I have this initiative and here's all the reasons and the return on investment on this initiative and we need to go now." And the boss says, "Let's wait." Right? Or maybe you're trying to sell something, right? A service to a client, and they say, "Oh yeah, we're in, right? Let's sign this, but let's start it January 5th." Right? What do you say to that person who's trying to get the person on the other side of that conversation not to wait, right? To go now.
And Alex, I think you've witnessed some of my presentation styles in the past. And what I would literally say, and have said many times, I said, I would like to quote the great philosophers of the North in Canada, the band Rush. They have a song called Free Will. And there's a lyric in Free Will, and it basically says the following: if you choose not to decide, you have still made a choice. If you
Wow.
choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. So here's the thing. Let's go back to our jams. There are 24 jams on the table. There's 25 choices. The
24
25th is
jams and don't buy anything.
correct. So that adds to the list of choices.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of time people fake, I shouldn't fake, they mislead themselves to think that if they did not choose, then they haven't committed, and yet they have. You've committed to
Ah.
slow down your business. You've committed not to grow. You've committed to stifle your business. You've committed not to expand to new markets.
So I had an example of, I had a conversation just before us recording this, a conversation where an owner of a financial services business said that they wanted to hire a number of other people to provide services, and that would enable them to grow. And I said, "Okay, let's do it. Why aren't you doing it today?" "Because I have too many networking meetings," is what they told me. And I said, "How many of those are important?" And they didn't tell me, but the idea was probably not all of them.
Certainly, one of them could come off that list and added with a hire a person in that slot,
Yes.
right?
And I responded, I said, "So it sounds like you need to hire somebody who can qualify your leads so that you can focus on the most important conversations. Would that be a worthwhile hire now?" "Oh yeah." "Would that also help you hire the kind of people and train the people you need to deliver the services?" "Yeah." "Okay, what are you going to do?" Well, I got too many networking meetings.
And by the way, what that means is choice number 25 on that 24 jam table. Right? I'm going to
Yeah,
choose
and
not to.
also, look, I've been there. So I'm laughing more out of a sense of like, dude, how common is that? Right? That I've been there. Many people have been there. I hear this all the time. Like, I'm overwhelmed, so I'm not going to make a decision. Right? Even though the decision itself could change the feeling of overwhelmed. Right?
The
So
trajectory of where you're going could be made very, very easily with one decision. Yes.
yeah, yeah. So waiting doesn't always solve anything. Actually,
No,
in a
well,
lot of
no,
times
by definition, it solves nothing.
solves nothing. Yeah. So, what we see
100% of the time.
there you go. Yeah. And really, so I mean, Tom, how often do you hear I want to grow my company, right? And then wait in the same conversation. I'm going to
Oh,
wait until.
I'm hard pressed to tell you a conversation that wasn't like that.
Yeah, and they don't seem to align. Those two things don't seem to align always. Maybe there are occasions where they might for a budget perspective. I'm getting this client in 5 days and we'll have the money. So we'll wait till we have the money in 5 days. Okay, I get that. Versus we have the money now. We could do it now, but we'll wait.
I've never ever come across somebody that doesn't turn around and say, um, that the reason I'm not doing it is because I don't have money, only to do something else with the money.
Hmm.
I'll give you, and again, these we share a lot of stories in the company here. We have people that say, I don't have, and that's a good one, right? Who are we to tell otherwise? Who are we to say, no, you don't have? Come on, man, you have money, right? People, we don't know, right? And
Yeah,
yet,
right.
right? I mean, we can't call
Yeah,
them out,
maybe
right?
they
I mean,
do,
we
maybe
still
they
have,
don't, right?
right? Correct.
Or maybe it's somewhere
However,
else, prioritized elsewhere.
correct. Far be it from us to suggest otherwise. However, I'm just following through on that decision making process. That is usually code for not making a decision.
When people hear when people are hearing this, what are the action items? What are the takeaways for them? Think about a leader. What should the leader of an organization do?
So number one, and this is sounds pretty obvious, but I'm going to put it out there. One of the reasons, Alex, you and I chose to do this is so people can listen to this and be reminded. And that, by the way, includes myself.
Mm, yeah, good point.
Right. Number two, what I have found is that I have learned to lean into the non-decision, meaning, um, and Alex, you know that I personally have made several personal and professional decisions in the last couple weeks. And arguably, I probably should have made them a long time ago. Right? But I'm making them now because of exactly what I'm saying is while our competitors are waiting, we're not going to wait. We're going to make decisions. We're going to change operational um, uh, processes, not because of for just the sake of changing. It's the thing that we've been talking about for a long time. Right? It was like we're gonna get there, get there, get there, get there. And my point is, it is Q4 to me. You know what's so funny? If you look at, do you have your keyboard in front of you? And all of you
Yeah,
listening, do you have your
yeah,
keyboard? If you take a look at the number 4 on your keyboard
yeah.
and you hit the shift number 4, what is that?
I don't know. It's not popping up. I got so many screens up. What is it?
The dollar sign. I look down and I look at Q4, right? 4 means dollar sign. It's a reminder that this is the opportunity that we can reap the benefits of getting ready for next year.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So there's a lot of these nuances to remember to actually take action, right? To take action. And again, I go back to the statement I made. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. So it's 24 jams, but there's 25 options. And it's everywhere. even when Alex, when you and I send proposals and we have the the 3 steps with the 1 recommended, you and I both know that's actually 4. There's 4 options on that proposal.
Hmm.
One of them is not to take us up on what we're offering.
Yep. What is the difference between kind of the mindset of a person who waits versus doesn't wait? Or is there do you see is there any like is there a personality difference? Is there is
I
like
don't know if it's so much a
what
personality as
studies or research do you know of that says like, okay, there are two people. One says, yeah, I'm gonna jump on this opportunity. I'm not gonna wait. Like let's take economic fears or instability, right? One company leader says, let's wait until things are stable. The other company leader says, let's capitalize now and earn market share, right? And I've had those conversations, and I know you have too, in the same week, right? In the same day.
So I wanna make 2 points here. I think, number 1, um, this decision fatigue, the term I use, it's an actual real term. It's a real psychological phenomena around decision fatigue. Um, I'll give you a couple more stories and studies. Um, if you go to court and you don't want to be, convicted for whatever it is, maybe you ran a red light, try to get your hearing early in the morning or after lunch. There's a study that came out of, I think, out of Europe. I think it's a Swedish study that basically saw higher levels of conviction an hour before lunch because people were
Wow.
tired of making decisions. The judge was tired of making decisions. Is this person guilty or not at 8 in the morning? Is this person guilty or not at 9 in the morning? Is this person guilty or not at 10 in the morning? Come 11 o'clock, screw it. He's guilty. Let's just move on. I
Oh,
don't want to hear
wow.
anymore. It's very,
Yeah,
very true
scares me.
perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so my point behind, it's kind of tongue in cheek, but basically that is decision fatigue.
Hmm.
You make so many decisions. And I believe when we talk to higher level people like we do, CEOs and all that, I I like to have our proposal meetings in the morning or after lunch because they've got the energy to think about it and make a decision. If we have a proposal, and this goes out to everybody who's listening, it's high value podcast for everybody out there, right? If you want to talk to a proposal about a proposal to your customer, don't do it at 11 o'clock in the afternoon because they're just going to say, I got to think about it because I'm out of decision making because from 8 to 11, that's all I've done all day is make
Yeah, so
decisions.
this isn't a personality thing or even it's not even a mindset thing. It's more about like an energy. Like how
Absolutely.
much
Exactly
energy
right.
do you have to make a decision, right? Why would
That's
I
correct.
wait? Like where am I at in terms of like just how tired I am of making
And
decisions?
well, here's the thing, and it's cumulative, right? So why is it pervasive in Q4? Because the last 3 quarters, that's all I've done,
Mm,
make decisions. It's Q4, it's the holidays, it's whatever. I'm tired. I'm just gonna not make a decision because it's just energetically easier for me to do that.
wow. So energy is key. What about what else
Well,
impacts
no, I
that
mean,
besides energy?
yeah,
That's a great study.
no, it is, right? And these are all very real. These are all very real, and this is, one of the things we do from both the sales and marketing here at Ninestone is we take all this into consideration. We teach our customers and our prospects to do this when we help them. So it's not just necessarily, making phone calls on their behalf or creating websites, right? It's like, how do we actually help you strategically win more business? There's a TED Talk out of all things. Guy's name is Terry Most, and he gets up and teaches everybody how to tie their shoes. It's literally a TED Talk on how to tie your shoes. You have to see it. Everyone, please, you're listening to this. After you're done listening to Stack the Scale by Alex and Dr. Tom, go to TED Talk, type in Terry Most, tie your shoes. And reason I want you to do that is he literally has a shoe and there's a cameraman showing you the shoes, and he shows you how to tie. There's one way to tie it. There's another way to tie it.
Okay.
The first way he ties it, it's loose. It doesn't look very nice, but there's a little change. It's how you wrap around the loop. That's all the difference in the world, right? And the bow comes tighter. It looks nicer. It's prettier. And people go, including people that are listening to this podcast, why are you even talking about this?
Exactly.
Right?
Okay.
Because I'm here to tell you that every little thing that you can contribute to become better over time will make you huge leaps in life. Proposal at 8 o'clock in the morning, all those little things, reducing your choices, right? Providing a recommendation, doing an ice matrix. These are all metaphorically teaching you how to tie your shoes. But in combination, will move your business forward vastly.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom, I didn't really have a structure in mind for why we started, let's say with HubSpot, started helping people do the work. We didn't want lots of gazillions of decisions on how to do each thing and what to do next. Like, what should my scoring template look like? Or how should I think about scoring? Well, we're going to do that for you, right? All you got to decide is that you're trying to hit this goal in your business, and then we're going to go get that. Right? We'll figure out lead scoring and campaigns and case studies for sales team members and what kind of battle card you need for your sales team or what kind of commission structure you want, right? Because commission structure, how many decisions are involved in that? Lots,
Lots and
right?
lots.
Lots of decisions. All of those things create just complete bottlenecks for organizations, right? So what we've done, I think, without even kind of knowing that I was trying to reduce decisions, was just say, oh gosh, when people make less decisions, they move faster, they wait less. So we're going to do those decisions for them because we know how, right? While they focus on what they're best at in their business because they know how to do that really well.
That is
Yeah, I
correct.
love that.
That is
And I think the challenge is like, wait. What should I not wait? Right? What am I waiting on for Q1? Hmm. You got me thinking on that. Probably you'll ask me tomorrow and I have to make a decision.
well, it's actually we're doing this towards the end of the day, so I'm not gonna ask you anything because you're
Oh,
probably
thank you. Yeah, right. towards the end of the day. So
if I want an answer,
for
I'm not gonna ask any questions.
yeah, right. For Stack to Scale, Tom, why did we do this? Why are we putting together a podcast? Why are we sharing with our clients and prospects and people we know and people we care about? Why are we having conversations about scaling organizations and businesses?
I will speak on behalf of myself, but I because I am gonna speak on behalf, but I think you would agree. I've been doing this a really, really long time, and, as I reflect, my past, I get great joy in seeing people succeed. I
Mm-hmm.
really do.
Yep.
So you can even call it selfish for why we did this, because I do. And I thought to myself, well, how do we best get some of these ideas out so people can
Yep.
learn and help themselves? A podcast is a heck of a lot easier than picking up the phone one on one and telling people the same thing over and over and over. So really that's what it is. Our philosophy has been that. I think, Alex, I can speak on behalf of yourself that your philosophy has been there to watch people flourish and help. And I think there's a point in my career right now that I think there's a lot of things that I can share. And I'm not talking about these monumental things either. These are, again, metaphorically, shoe tying type of wisdom. And that's basically what we've done. And so again, I am going to encourage people that if you want to get to know us more, whatever, my goodness, we're pretty darn easy to find. I would cherish a conversation. There's no high level pressure. My calendar link is on my LinkedIn. You can click on that. You can get on my calendar today, and we can chat about whatever it is that you want to chat about. And hopefully I provide value, and Alex as well.
Yeah, yeah. And you made me think. So last night, there was a women in business symposium at our local high school, and my son, who's in theater, was helping to run, run the theater production. Right, he's really into audio, and he was working on a number of things. And we had a senator there, all really talented and highly well regarded women in their professions. And my daughter, who's in a junior high school, right? She was there, which was so cool. And one of the things that I came out of from all these people in different industries who were leaders, top of their game, they said, they were talking about people around them who enabled them, supported them in being top of their game, not just getting there, but being there in that space, right? So it's like this idea of it takes a village, right? To raise kids, to have a team that grows, et cetera. So I think that's part of my philosophy too. Like we have things to share that can unlock the abilities in companies to grow, right? We can share those things. But we have partners. The reason we call ourselves Ninestone Partners is in part because we have other partners that are highly capable craftspeople in their trade who are good at helping our clients do the same stuff, the same things, right? Kind of unlock those little things that create significant scalable efficiencies, right? So we're part of a bigger ecosystem
Agreed.
of enabling businesses to grow, and those people around us enabling us to also, like you said, the word flourish, right? Sometimes overused, but not meant to be trite. Like really, the ability to be what we think we can do, be and what we can do. So it takes a crew, right? And so if we get to be, part of it for other folks, and they get to be part of it for us.
I basically, if you go back to the 30 years that I've been in the professional world, anything worth talking about, I did it with other people.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why we have Stack to Scale, right? We want to be part of that journey with people. Yeah.
And that's why we
So
wanted to take this time just for Alex and I to chat about it just ourselves, to be able to share these perspectives, but also share our, if I may be sappy, our hearts as to why it is that we do what we do.
Yeah. 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 Well, I appreciate that, Tom. And, for folks who are listening, I guess one of the questions would be, what are you waiting for?
Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe and turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode. Click here for more great content to help you scale smarter. If this episode was valuable for you, share it with a friend and drop a comment below. And when you're ready to scale, visit us at ninestonepartners.com. Until next time, keep stacking, keep scaling.